Hello, everybody. Michael, the Librarian of Magic here, finding and cataloging the magical and pointing you to it. I'm back here once again with another What's New on Disney Plus video, this time for the week of February 21st, 2020. One of the things I'll tell you right off the top that was new on Disney Plus this week is the launch of the final season of the Clone Wars, Star Wars The Clone Wars, the animated series. And I am doing a full separate videos for that, just like I did with The Mandalorian. So if that's something you're interested in, please check those out. They are dropping on my channel in same time schedule as this content. So please check those out if that's something you're interested in. In addition to the Clone Wars, this week on Disney Plus, added to the site, were the animated film from 2013, Marvel's Iron Man and Hulk: Heroes United, sort of a animated Marvel movie featuring Iron Man and the Hulk, as well as two basically, I guess you could call them specials, or like 20-minute animated stories in the Marvel Rising series. The Marvel Rising series are basically animated shorts that take place in the Marvel Universe, like 2 to 3, 4 minutes, something like that. These are like 20-minute pieces. One of them is called Operation Shuri, which is a story about Shuri from Black Panther. And the other one is called Playing with Fire, which is a story about the Secret Warriors and a character called Inferno. And those are sort of like special one-off stories, I guess. I haven't taken too much time to watch Marvel Rising, but they look really interesting. I may check out the Shuri one at some point because I really like that character. So those were, new to the site this week. With the Disney Plus originals, this week on One Day at Disney, the shorts, there's a 5-minute or so video that highlights this guy, Vince Caro. And what he does for a living for Disney is he's a Pixar recording engineer, and he has worked in the sound booth, on the engineering side of things, for voiceovers when people come in and record their lines for Pixar films. People like Tom Hanks and Ellen DeGeneres and all the voice actors who have worked with Pixar. He's been on the recording side of those, as well as sound effects work and Foley artistry and all of the stuff that goes into making animated Pixar films. From a sound perspective, he has participated in all of the different aspects of that on the recording side of things. So it's kind of an interesting look into all of those aspects of what it takes, one aspect of what it takes to put those films on screen. And it's really interesting to see what this person does for a living. On Disney Family Sundays, the craft of the week are Aristocats headbands, and it's really sort of loosely associated with Aristocats, to be honest with you on this one. It wasn't all that heavily thematic. They're basically cat ear headbands. They take some headbands that you could have for women or little girls or whoever wants to have a headband. Doesn't really matter. And then put like little felt cat ears on them. You sort of wrap them underneath and glue them together and make ears out of them. They add little like pink bows if you want to look more like Marie from the Aristocats, or you can add sort of a design or a flair. You can decorate them however you want, and they tell you everything you need to make them. But it was sort of not the most impressive craft they've ever done. It's a cool, simple thing to do if you have anybody in your life, including yourself, who would be just into having a cat ear headband. It shows you a cool, cheap way to be able to do it and make it yourself. But as far as tying it into the Disney theme and everything like that, it's probably one of the weaker ones that we've seen so far. So that was Disney Family Sundays. The new episode of Disney Fairy Tale Weddings this week was an episode called Alaska to Marry Me, and it featured two couples. That's generally the format of the show. One of them, Alyssa and Jesse, who are getting engaged in this episode, and as you may remember from some of my other videos, these engagement ones are ones that I really like a lot because they just go all out, and I love seeing the surprise of it all. And I guess I'm just sort of a big softie for these engagement stories, but this one was a really great one, just like the rest. Alyssa gets invited to go on a Disney cruise to Alaska with her family. Her family is sort of in on the with her or with her boyfriend Jesse, they're in on the plan with Disney to have Jesse propose to Alyssa, and they set all this stuff up like months in advance, where the family's going to go out on this cruise, and then they're going to go on an excursion to take a helicopter ride up above a glacier, and then land on the glacier, and then Jesse will be there on the glacier, with a banner and asking Alyssa to marry him, and then his family will be there, and then they'll join each other for the remainder of the cruise and all of that sort of stuff. And so, as I said, it's just really elaborate and really impressive, and of course, the great scenery and all that stuff. It's a pretty amazing proposal. It's like sort of a once in a lifetime kind of situation for the people who get chosen to participate in this. So that was really cool to watch. And then they show a couple on this episode called Kylie and Ty, who are, I think they live in Texas. I think Kylie is originally from North Carolina. They have, as a couple, they sort of have a southern country flair to them. That's part of their culture and identity and stuff like that. And they're trying to have a Kylie is a dancer. She has a dance background. She's been a member of a dance team, and I think she's got like a choreography background and stuff like that. So she wants to have, as a feature of her wedding reception, she wants to have a dance battle between she and her bridesmaid group and her husband and his groomsmen group. And they want to do like a choreographed dance battle, basically, where they each have a pre-planned routine. And the guys aren't so quick on picking it up. None of them have a dance background. Of course, all of the bridesmaids do. They're like team members of hers and stuff like that. Anyway, Disney helps out to help these guys get trained up by a choreographer and stuff like that. And at the end, when this couple gets married in front of Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom, they set up their dance battle and everything goes off really well. The guys have learned their choreography, much to the bride's surprise. And in addition to that, one of their favorite country superstars, Chris Janson, is there to perform their first wedding dance song and also to perform the music for the dance battle and everything like that. He participates in that, and they're really happy to have him there, and that's a cool thing. And then, of course, fireworks behind the castle, and as always, Disney really goes all out for these. So great fun episodes. It's just a cute little show, Fairy Tale Weddings. The new episode this week of Diary of a Future President was an episode called Habeas Corpus, and it probably wasn't the strongest episode of the batch yet, but it was still really fun, a lot of really fun moments, and there were some sweet, tender things in it too. Gabby's storyline is that her firm has lost the big case that she was working on to a different, bigger firm, and so she's really disappointed that that's all happening. And in order to get her mind off of it, her boyfriend Sam encourages her to read through this giant manual that they've both been told they have to read through because it's come to HR's attention in their office that they're having an inter-office relationship with each other, and there's a HR protocol that they have to follow. So they have this giant, thick manual of regulations that they have to go through, and Sam thinks that it's a good idea for them to go through it to get her mind off of the fact that she lost this case. And it works, and they have sort of a romantic, tender moment towards the end of the episode when they realize that they love each other, and they tell each other, "I love you," for the first time. Elena's storyline is that she is picking up from the last episode when she threw orange juice all over the school mascot. She gets sent to detention, and when she does, she discovers a bunch of people in there that everybody in the school calls the 6 o'clockers because they're in detention all the way to the 6 o'clock bell every single day, and they sort of have a bad reputation for being outcasts and weirdos and people who get sent to detention all the time, and there's a bunch of rumors about them circulating throughout the school. But Elena, in her process of detention, figures out that none of these rumors are true, and all of these people are actually really cool and have a lot of cool stuff about them. Like, one of the girls knows how to bake really well, and one of the kids steals a lot of stuff, but it's only because he wants to fix it and improve it before giving it back. And one of the girls is only in detention because she's late every day, and that's like not in her control. It has to do with her parents and stuff like that. So she finds out that all these people are really great, and she eventually learns her part of the episode is about trying not to give in to the image of it all, of trying to hang out with them, because she kind of waffles about whether or not she wants to be seen with them. And at one point she disappoints them, and then she realizes that she actually likes them and wants them to be her friends and stuff like that. So she helps them to helps to dispel the rumors with the school announcements and everything, and makes friends with all of the people in the group, and it's really cool. And then in Bobby's side of the storyline, usually he has a more sort of comedy relief. He usually has the sillier storyline, and in this episode, he actually has the sort of most emotionally weighty, impactful part of the storyline, which is that his friends are trying to get him interested in watching this weird cult movie for laughs. It's a movie about a guy's dead father becomes his spirit becomes attached to this mailbox or something. It's just and it's not like really horribly made, and it's a campy cult classic or whatever, and their friends are trying to just watch it for a goof. But the movie actually ends up really impacting Bobby, because he realizes that he's never really talked with his friends before about the fact that his dad is dead. He's never revealed to his girlfriend, Monica, with a Y, that his dad is dead. He's just never really talked about it or unpacked his emotional issues or baggage. Ever since his dad died, he's just sort of ignored it until now, and he begins the process of unpacking all of that in this episode, and I'm sure there will be more about that in future episodes. But overall, a decent episode from top to bottom. Not necessarily firing on all cylinders. There have been more episodes where all three of the storylines have been pretty strong, and in this one, I think the Gabby storyline is not a little bit weaker in the focus, but it makes sense because the kids are more of the focus in this episode. So overall, not bad, just not the best so far. Not all of them can be. And then in the Marvel Hero Project this week, an episode called Genesis Animal Ally is about a young lady who just feels very strongly about animal rights. She works in tandem with a animal sanctuary that helps rescue goats and all kinds of animals, turtles and llamas and cows and stuff like that, and give them a stress-free life. And she just what's most impressive about her and what's most important about her is that she really has compassion for all living things, and has a heart for bringing more compassion into the world, and that's something that we, of course, always need more of. So, as always with these episodes, impressive to see a young person caring about things and trying to do some good or put some good into the world in whatever way they think, and in ways that are constructive and positive and not destructive and negative. So this episode was about Genesis. Of course, she gets her own comic book, and Disney or Marvel donates $10,000 to a cause that she cares about on her behalf, and that's the same with all of these episodes. There's always a $10,000 donation, and the Marvel Bullpen draws a comic book based on her, and she's really happy with that and really touched by that. Each episode too, they get like what looks like a leather jacket in as part of their inauguration into the Marvel Hero Project team, and they make a point of letting Genesis know that her jacket is a vegan jacket. So that was also kind of a cool little thing about that. And I think that's pretty much it for what is all new on the Disney Plus originals this week. As I said, the Clone Wars also came out, but I'm doing a completely separate video for that. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at this week with all of the original content on Disney Plus. A slightly light week, but they're going to be adding more stuff in future weeks. They just, as I said, I keep saying with the Clone Wars, there's also going to be another couple of new shows coming up in the following months to come. So they'll keep adding them, and I'll document them as soon as I can get to them, whenever they come out. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching these. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please let me know down below if you have any thoughts about any of these things, any of my videos or any of the Disney Plus content. Anything that you've watched on the service that you think is interesting or noteworthy, please let know down below. Thanks as always for watching these. I really appreciate it. I hope they've been entertaining and informative for you. And until next time, I hope you really have an excellent, magical week, and I will see you in the next What's New on Disney Plus video. Until then, bye-bye.